Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh. Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. Right? To the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut. The bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever. The hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom, to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson.
China owns 800 billion of U.S. debt, which they do. Then, of course, the United States, as the borrower, has to pay interest, which means that you and I and everybody else gets to pay taxes every year that go to Washington, where they don't fund our roads or schools or hospitals. It's money that the United States government collects and sends to Beijing to pay interest on the debt. And the Chinese use to develop the Red Army. Do you understand? All of this has to happen beneath the surface. Because if Americans understood what I just said, they would realize that beneath all the reality is the opposite. That's the reality of the economic of capitalism.
Right, so this is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. So all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the borders. So you got, they got the discontent with Russia, now dealing with the European nations. They had discontentment with America, Babylon the Great. You have Persia, right, which is Iran, right, with discontent, right, because they're fighting against the Houthis, right, which is connected to Iran, which beefs with Israel, who America is allies with, which is going to be into the detriment, right. So, ultimately, all these places are against this place. Not only as he's speaking, not to mention China, right? Because China has this thing with Taiwan, and America gets a lot of their chips, right? The operating chips, whether via car or your credit card, your cell phone, they get their chips from Taiwan, right? They're not self-sustained and creating their own chip, and that's what they get for was it basically consolidating their factories onto other countries in order to make more money, because they didn't want to pay the American worker more money, right? And insurance and healthcare and this and this and that, when their whole thing is the rich hate the poor, right? They hate to give out a more money to have you live a decent life, right? They don't like that. I mean, you'll still be considered poor, but to an average person making $30-$40 or whatever it is at one of these factories an hour, man, you're living good, right? And that's all you want. That's all you want. You're not asking for anything else, right? But their thing is they outsource their companies, and in turn they needed to borrow money from China, which in turn you're funding your enemy, right? And all the way around, this is the sentiments of America, Babylon the Great, which is Babal, which means confusion, right? You borrow money from China, which in turns gives China more money to build hypersonic missiles. In turn, gives China more money to build up their military. In turns, gives China more money to buy gold, which they've been doing that for quite some time. I remember it was a big talk about China going around the world getting gold back in 2008, right? In 08, right? And they were doing that before that, but I guess they had ramped up the they're seeking in '08, and they haven't stopped from '08 to now. So not only are they end up having more gold, more things that's of value, right? They've created the BRICS with Russia, right? Which means Brazil, Russia, uh, yeah, Brazil, Russia, Iran, or is it Iran? Oh, India, right? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and then they got South Africa, right? BRICS. And then there's many other nations that's collectively going under the BRICS. So this is the economic thing, and not only that, America buys their bullets from Russia. Russia, who creates America's bullets. So you're talking about Babalt confusion. Only a simple stupid mother, you know what I'm saying, would buy bullets from a person that inevitably you can go to war with. Only a stupid person would borrow money from a person you're inevitably finna go to war with, right? You're borrowing that great amount from Japan or whatever. That kind of makes sense. Japan's your ally, which even then potentially could turn around and be your enemy, right? But right now they're your ally. You know what I mean? But this is the confusion. This is why those that were confederate with you, right, which will be the European nations, the beast, right? Because the horse on the scarlet cover beast, that beast, which is Europe, the European Union, right, had brought thee even to the borders. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that ate thy bread, right, like Lazinski, right? He ate a lot of this bread, this money, yeah, the resources of America, right? While they're outsourcing jobs and all these different things, and now they're thinking about trying to bring some jobs here, but it's really to bring in a goddamn Elam, right? They're still gonna bring in foreigners to do the job, right? So you tell this, there's no, hey, right? Get to the point. Let me just get to the point, because that's the point where I'm trying to get. It says, eat that yeah, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that ate thy bread have laid a wound under thee, and there is no understanding in him. And that's the point where I'm trying to make. There's no understanding in a person who would borrow money from a country you're going to go to war with, right? Which you still owe. So every time your tax money it goes to give them money, which, like the guy said, it builds up the Red Army, which is talking about China, right? Right? So you're in a no-win situation. You're going against Russia, but you buy your bullets from Russia, right? You have no factories here, right? There might be some, but you probably don't have them on a big enough level to produce enough bullets for a war, right? Right? So that in itself is like a wound under you, right? So this place is going down, right? It says yeah, there's no understanding in him. Let's look up that word, understanding, right? So this is the blue letter, Hebrew interline near to liner, right? Which basically is going to convert it, give you the understanding in the Hebrew, right? Of understanding, right?
Strong's H8394. Tavun, and second entry, Tevuna, and third entry, Tuvena.
Yeah, almost sounds like buffoon, right? Remind me of the word buffoon. And I don't know if that's where you get that word that word from, but it definitely reminds me of that. And that's this place, man. Tavoon, right? Which means understanding, intelligence. So he said there's no understanding, there's no intelligence in this place, right? You got intelligence and counterintelligence, but somehow the you know it's kind of like a broken clock. It's right maybe twice a day, right? But other than that, it's completely off, and that's this place, man. Right? The act of understanding skills, the fac- faculty of understanding, right? Yeah, your knowledge having, yeah, and that's what they don't have. They don't have the faculties, right? Of actually understanding, intelligence, understanding, insight. Yeah, they don't have the insight. This is the object of knowledge, right? And they're deprived of knowledge, right? The ultimate knowledge is the knowledge of Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai. They don't have teacher, right? They don't have the someone to actually teach them what they actually ought to do. But then this thing is happening in real time and happening fast paced, right? That's why the Lord said it should come upon you, and you should not be able to put it off. It's going to come so fast, and that's what's happening right now, right? Understanding, discerntion, reasons, right? Let's go into the root word being
Strong's H995. Bean.
being, right? To discern. There's no discerning in his mind. This place, America, Babylon the Great, right? The Edomites. There's no understanding in them. It says understanding, concern, consider, right? To perceive, discern, to understand, know with the mind, right? They don't know with the mind, man. There are no, it says no understanding. There's no knowing with the mind, right? In him, right? Completely gone, right? To observe, mark. I like that one. Give heed to, right? Distinguish, consider, to have discernment, insight, understanding, right? I like that. Okay, yeah, mark. Okay, yeah. Because what the scripture says, basically, mark him, right? Right? Because this is a different type of a mark. This mark goes into what scopeo, right? Yeah, so this is Romans chapter 16, verse 17. It says, now, brethren, I beseech you, beg you, plead, you know what I mean? Request, so to speak. Brethren, mark, right, them which cause divisions and offense, contrary to the doctrine which you have learned, and avoid them, right? So that's dealing with people that's in the truth, right? If they're causing divisions, right, you're supposed to mark them and avoid them, right? And that's mostly dealing with the truth. But overall, the Lord said that we are a spiritual man, judge of all things. So you can use this same scripture and use it for anything. So then you look at the overall what's happening in the world. Who mostly causes the most division in the world? The self-proclaimed so-called white man, which that's what he did, basically making a white a social construct, right? A color, which they're not white, and you're definitely not black, right? And even if you say you're brown, which we are, we're many shades of brown, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, we're many shades of brown, but brown is not a nationality, right? So we go back to a certain particular people, being Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and there's only one particular people that's on the planet that's actually lacking their pigment, right? Which means Ashashua, which goes back to Esau, which means wasted away. There's only one person whose melanin is wasted away. Then he turns around and make a social construct like white and black, and then make himself seem good and holy. But then you have to mark them that cause division, right? So what type of division have you been seeing in the world, right? The self-proclaimed so-called white man causes all the divisions, and then when you come out and point it out, now it's reverse racism, right? This is the thing that they come up with. It says Romans 16 and 17 in the NLT. It says, and now I make you one more appeal, right? See, and that's basically what we're trying to do. We're trying to appeal to you brothers and sisters, man. We're making basically like an argument. I'm trying to appeal to you, right? The Lord said, let us reason together, right? Right? It says, my dear brothers and sisters, watch out for people, right? See, that's what I'm saying. This thing is not just within the truth, right? Which it is. It's mostly for these different camps, maybe even people that's within your camp, right? You got to watch out for these people, man, right? Watch out for people who cause divisions and upsets people's faith by teaching things contrary to what you have been taught, right? The CV19 is contrary to what you've been taught, right? Right? Saying that the micro C-hip is not the MOTB is contrary to what you've been taught, or what the Bible actually says, right? Right? I mean, because even though there's a lot of similitudes and things, and you're spiritual, and we're spiritual people, we know that the Lord's dealing with a physical plane, right? We're playing on a physical plane in a spiritual war against carnal people. So we know that the Quran is going to be physical, because carnal people are trying to mark you, but you're marking them too. You're marking them spiritually, because you know, hey, I got to avoid those type of situations, right? You got to avoid those kind of people, right? That's basically what it's saying. And it says, what, contrary to what you have been taught, stay away from them, man. You got to stay away from the mentality of this Babylonian mentality, right? Because it's just confusion, right? And you have to mark them, right? Let's go into that word mark, right? Real quick, because I like that thing said it like that. Mark being mark is something you mark. It's talking about not having no understanding or the intelligence, right? It's actually talking about intelligence, but in the scripture it says they have no understanding. So you could be marked for intelligence or marked to not have intelligence, right? Right? And it's true, right? The tawa is a mark for intelligence, right? Right? A spiritual mark, or a man that's spiritual. The only spiritual mark we can give you is being able to what? Right here. It says mark.
Strong's G 4648. Scapeo.
That's the way we spiritually mark you. Scopeo. Spiritually, that's the only spiritual mark you can have. The Karagma, the MOTB cannot be spiritual, right? This is the spiritual thing you do as a man, right? Scopeo, to look at, to observe, contemplate, right? You're thinking about what's going on around you. You're contemplating. That's spiritual, right? Because there's demons, there's angels, and while you're contemplating the things that's happening in the spiritual world, right? To mark, see? So you're marking, right? You're contemplating, right? And that's what it is. They're contemplating. They're not marking it with intelligence, right? They're not contemplating what's their situation. Who buys bullets from a place you've been going to war with? You've been in a Cold War, hot war, Cold War. You know what I'm saying? You had to build up the so-called League of Nations, then turn around and change it to what is it called? The NATO, whatever, or the UN, right? Because you have the UN, the United Nations, or you got the and NATO, right? Right, your military power, right? So, and then you go and you borrow money from a place that you were 40 times thousand million. Why would you need to borrow from a place when you already had everything? All you had to do was keep everything in house. But no, you outsourced all your jobs to all these other countries, building them up, and now you're in the time of World War III, and there's no understanding in you. Now you're trying. Basically, Trump is trying to backpedal. He's trying to do all these other little things. Well, let's see if we can get some immigrants in here, get them on the green ID, whatever they call it, blah 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 blah. You know, what's his name? Elon Musk is saying that there's no American that's competent, so this is why we have to do that. Why basically pushing you off and to basically have no job, to eventually put you on universal basic income, so that way you completely have to depend on the government, right? To fix one's eyes upon. So you're supposed to fix your eyes upon the prize, right? You're marking it. Okay, the prize is there, the target's there. This is what I'm going for, right? They were supposed to be going for global dominance, but who gets in debt with one of the countries, the main country you're going to have to fight against for global dominance? And they still have to pay these people. So you're funding the people you have to go to war with to so-called defend Taiwan, right? There's no understanding in him, right? He's not marking, he's not looking, he's not targeting things. But the one thing he is targeting, he's targeting you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Canadians to fix one's eyes upon, right? Direct one's attention to anyone, right? Or anything, right? Not just anyone, but anything that you're doing. You're supposed to mark what you're and head towards it, right? Hit the target, get it done, right? To look to, take heed to thyself, right? See, and that's one thing that they have not been doing. They did not take heed to themselves, right? And then one thing that they're also marked with, right? Because we're saying we're spiritual men, right? Yeah. So this is Malachi chapter 1 verse 4, right? Whereas Edom, right, and Esau is Edom, Esau, right? It says Esau descendants in Edom, right? They're the Edomites, right? His descendants are the Edomites. That's what it should have said. It should have said that Esau's descendants are Edom, right? We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, of hosts they shall build, but I will throw down, right? And they shall call them the border of wickedness, right? And then right here, it's in the NIV, it says, I will demolish them again. Their country will be known as the land of wickedness. And that's part of being of Scopeo, right? That's spiritual. We know spiritually this place is a place of wickedness, right? So their people will be called the people of whom the Lord Yahweh is forever angry, right? Right? So they call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, have indignation, which means righteous anger forever, right? You know, so that's part of what of marking him, right? But they're gonna have a different mark, right? Because they got all this astronomical debt with all these other places, right? Yeah, so this is Proverbs chapter 29 and 12. It says, if a ruler hearken to liars all his servants are wicked, right? So you got the whole, was it the president, right, which is the king of Babylon, the king, right, the king of basically Rome, right, the emperor of Rome, right, the Caesar of Rome, right, he's the pharaoh, right, the king of Babylon, right, all that embodied into this place right here, right, and then it goes all the way down to the the Senate, the Congress, right, unto your average was it CIA, FBI, police, military. They're all wicked, right? Right. So this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered, right? And we can see that this government is not well ordered, man. This thing is out of order. You got the Democrats going against the Republican. They had it in the time of when they were the plebeians and the patricians, in the time of Rome, in the time of Greece, right? These are the things that made them fall apart, because that proves that they're the same people, because what? It's called regeneration. So those same things, those same people are back, right? It's a thing that they say history repeats itself, but it repeats itself because those same individuals are back again, making the same mistakes that they've always made, right? And it says, as the judge of the people is himself, right? So he no Babylon the Great, whoever the president is, whoever that is, and really go all the way back to the elite, right? Because they're the ones ultimately making the decisions. The president is just a puppet. So they're making the decisions, praying to Satan, and Satan telling them, yeah, this is a great idea. But if you look at it, it's not all that great. It's not that great of an idea, right? And you're going to know that, like, especially to do that to your cash cow. Because even in the scriptures, it says that they're going to be weeping afar off, saying, what other place could we make money like that great city? So why would you, even after it's gone, it's like, wow, they're gonna realize, man, they made so much money in America, Babylon the Great. What other place are you going to be able to just use and rake over the coals and rake them over again and just make so much money out of a people who's just consumers? They don't create. You may be a content creator, but but your creativity is really for you to consume, right? There's no factories, nothing really here, because they outsourced everything. Now that you outsource, now you're in the need that you could say, hey, Russia, we don't need you to make our bullets anymore. We'll make our bullets here. And now you could feel a lot more comfortable going to war with a country that you make your own bullets. Hey, China, we can go to war with you. Hey, because we have debt with you, but you know what? We make our own bullets. We have our own things. We're building up our own infrastructure, and we're good. We don't need any more borrowing, and we'll just pay you back for what we'll make our payments. But as we're making our payments, we're actually building up our military to come against you, right? That's what a wise person would do, right? But this place hasn't been wise at all, right? Listening to the elite, right? Which is foolish, right? It's not prudent, right? It's not smart. But it says, as the judge of the people is himself, right? The people act just like the judge. The judge and the rulers of this place is wicked. The Congress, the mayor, the governor, right? Whatever legislatures and or whatever you want to bring in, they're all wicked, man. And so are the people. So are the officers, right? You got your, like I say, going to your Congress officers. That's basically Congress, right? Because that's what they're saying. They're holding a office, right? All the way to your regular local police officer, right? Right? Your military officers, right? Your whole infrastructure, everything about you. This is the land and the border of wickedness, right? What matter of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. And this is a place where there's no understanding in the ruler. There's no understanding in the legislations, the Congress, right? They're just following along what the elite say as puppets, and there's no understanding in them, right? Because all these other countries have laid a wound under you by you getting loans and from China, that laid a wound under you. But not only that, you done gave money to Lazinski, you gave money to Israel, you gave money to this, to that, and that, and this, right? All for your own country and for you to be and want and need, right? Right? So now you're somewhat backpedaling, trying to what is it? What do they say? Trying to make it where no citizen under 100 and something thousand have to pay taxes, right? Which that's just ushering in the what you call it, the universal basic income, because basically say, hey, we're going to give you $2,500 every month or whatever, but we're not going to tax it because how can we tax? You know what I mean? I mean that's all you get. Every citizen gets $2,500, and you don't go to work, and we're going to let the robots, and then you can still sit there and just be consumers, and you will have nothing, you will own nothing, and he said you will be happy. You eat your bugs and your lentils, and you'll be happy, right? This is the way they're talking about ruling this place, right? So it says, of a man, the ruler of the city is such are all they that dwell therein, right? With no understanding, right? Gross darkness to people, as the scripture says, right? I'm gonna have to get that. It says, the unwise, right, king, right? No understanding in him, destroyeth his people, right? And that's what's happening to this place, man. These are unwise kings, and they're gonna destroy this place, Babylon the Great, which is really the sentiments of the Most High, Yahweh, right? But though the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited, right? Which really is going to be dealing with this place right here, Babylon the Great, will never be inhabited again. But that really is more talking about the elect, right? We're going to take all you other nations, put you in slavery, and we're going to build up the world again, right? The entire world will be built up again under true rulership, 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 right? Right, because it goes into that word, what's it called? Steward, right? True stewardship, right? Which means ruler, right? Or landlord or lord, right? Kyrie, which means Lord, right? It's like a landlord, right? It says wise yeah. It says verse 4, the power of the earth is in the hand of Kyrie, right? The ruler, the true ruler, Most High, Yahweh, right? The Lord out of one. And in due time, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, in due time, he will set over it one that is profitable, right? Starting with Yahweh Shai, King David, the 144,000, hey, to build up the entire world the way it's meant to be built. But right now, this place, the whole world is falling apart. It's in shambles. They don't really understand them trying to go against America is the demise of the entire world. Right? But that's what the Most High is doing to them, right? Yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns, which would be NATO, the EU, which thus saw it upon the beast, right? Right, which were their rulership, their rulership, the times of their great rulerships, right? Horn meaning power, right? And that's the time that they had those powers, right? Under the time of the Greeks, the Romans, right? Germania Major, Germania Minor, Spain, England, France, right? Just a couple more. Germania Major, Spain, France, Slovakia. But basically, that's just some of them real quick, just to off the top of my head. I'll kind of, but that's basically dealing with those powers that they had, right? Oh, Greece, right? That's it. Greece, Rome, Greece, yeah, Greece, Rome, Germania Major, Germania Minor, all these other ones, Spain, England, France, right? So, says these shall hate the whore, and they're gonna start hating them, and that's what they're doing now. That's what's happening now. That's why there's no understanding in them. You're still funding, and they just sent more military weapons to Ukraine while speaking to Russia about peace. Yeah, hey, how about Putin? What's going on? Let's have this peace. Then going, hey, let's you don't really see that but it's in the news. Everybody here, they're speaking about it. And it ain't like Putin don't got satellites also. He got satellites, he got actual intelligence and spies and agents, and they see what's going on. Right? And then not to mention it's in the newspaper. It's in how I know is sitting on YouTube. They say, yeah, I don't know how they're saying that they're trying to get peace with Russia, but they're sending weapons there. It don't make sense. So what do you think Putin's looking at? Right? Right? What do you think these other places are looking at? Right? And the 10 horns which thus saw it upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, right? And they're slowly but surely exposing this place, right? They're exposing this place for what it really is, but not just that. They're gonna just plain simply shoot their missiles upon this place, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, right? They're just gonna simply send these missiles upon this place, right? And burn it with fire. For the power of the Most High Yahweh Basham which I have put in their hearts, la'ab, right, their mind, to fulfill His will. So really, all this is really the will of the Most High, right? And to agree to give their kingdom unto the beast, right? Say, hey, let's build up our NATO power and let's build up our defense system against America and Russia, because it seems like we might have to defend ourselves against America too, and Russia. So let's build up our defense unto the words of the power shall be fulfilled, right? So they're going to hate each other, they're going to come against each other, and they're going to ultimately shoot missiles on this place, man. So that the word of Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai may be filled, man, right? Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 2. For behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention, behold, right? The darkness shall cover the earth, right? And this whole earth, is in straight utter confusion, right? They think going against America is in their best interest, right? America think going against them is in their best interest. But ultimately, they're counseling each other out. And it's really ultimately the will of the Lord, because all this is fulfilling prophecy. The Lord said that they're going to hate the whore, right? The 10 horns, right, which is dealing with Europe, is going to hate the whore. That's happening. The water Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai, the word, hey, it's undefeated, man, right? And gross darkness, right? It's super just, hey, man, it's beyond just not understanding. You have gross darkness, and gross darkness, the people, right? You people don't understand what's going on. You don't really understand what real money is. You don't know that real money is gold and silver, right? You don't know that the MOTB is that micro C hip. You don't know what's going on, right? It says, but Yahweh Basham Hamashiach Yahweh Shai Basham Rakakwadash shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee, which is really dealing with the elect, right? It's only dealing with the elect of the nation of Israel, not dealing with everybody in the world, but the elect is in the four winds. They are in the world. They're all over, scattered across this world, right? Which gross darkness covers this world as far as you people, but as far as the elect, yet for the elect, this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 14, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge, right, of the glory of Yahweh Basham, right? Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai Basham Rukakwadash, right? Right? Yahweh means which he is, or the existing one. Yahweh Shai, he is Savior. or he is deliverer, which really goes into he's savior, right? Or he's salvation, right? Yahushai is salvation. He is our deliverer. He's our salvation. It says, as the waters, what? Cover the sea, right? So the whole earth is covered in gross darkness, but it's also covered what? In light. But it's only that light is going out to the elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Yeah, so this is Baruch chapter 4, verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, right? Which the blessing went from Abraham unto Isaac, right? Which Isaac is his actual literal son, right? Which you understand that was Yahushai. And in one of his lifetimes, Yahushai was Isaac, right? If you have ears to hear, right? If you accept it, that's what it is, right? And then you also have Jacob, right? And then Jacob gave his blessing to his 12 sons. So it's saying, and Jacob is interchangeable with saying Israel, right? Which or with his descendants, right? So it's or turn thee, O Jacob, which is talking about his sons, 12 sons, and his descendants unto this very day, which you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Take hold of it, right? What are you taking hold of this truth? And this truth is going to eventually, you're to gird up your loins like a man, first and foremost, right? And then it's going to give you the knowledge of your foreparents, right? Which you understand that the planet, this world, the universe was made for you, for your sake, right? Right. It says walk in the presence of the light, which is dealing with the scriptures, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, the breath, right? Understanding that the thing that calls you to live, to truly live, right? Which we're going to live forever through the truth, through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the breath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, of the light thereof, that thus may it be illuminated, right? This is that light, man. We're the true light bearers right now. The Illuminati's one that's so-called ruling, right? They're the so-called called the illuminated ones, but the Lord is about to make us the illuminated ones. We're going to be the true light bearers, starting with Yahushai, King David, the 144,000, and then all of Israel, right? Even those that die on this side will return quite actually swiftly, as far as the rate that we're going to be having children, right? It says, give not thy honor to other, nor the things that are profitable, right? Dealing with the scriptures, man. Dealing with the honor of being called an Israelite, right? We're not going to let you say that you're basically you're small hat, man. You're make believe. You got receipts all the way back to Moses saying that you're the people, when you can't substantiate that. You can't prove that, right? Right? Not to mention the scripture said we would not know who we were, right? But now we're coming into the learning, and we're not going to just let this world be given over into your hands, and the Lord's not going to give it back to us, right? The world was made for our sake, that are profitable unto thee, to a strange what nation, man. The world ain't going to go into everybody, man. The world is for the Israelites' sake, man, right? Yeah, so this is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 32. But called to remembrance, right? And we were all called to remembrance. So the Lord said to stir up your pure remembrance, right? The former days, right? The Lord said, seek ye the old way, which our forefathers, so that ye search the truth. And you will see that, Deuteronomy 28 is talking about us. It has to be. I mean, there's no way around it. I mean, you can say that you're no longer a Hebrew Israelite, but that doesn't change the scriptures, right? Should their unbelief, right, make the effects of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai without effects, No, Yahweh forbid. And that's basically what this scripture, this is even talking about that, because these people fall out the truth. But I'm just bringing this point up because you have to be brought back to remembrance, right? Because technically that's what this scripture is talking about. Someone that's fallen out of the truth, right? But just to use this as an example, as far as just saying, but called, because you have to be called. You can't just wake up and like, oh, I just decided to follow God. No, you have to be called. To be called to remembrance of the former days, which after ye were illuminated, see, ye endured a great fight of affliction. See, and even when you get this, you can't just assume, hey, once I get in this truth, nothing's gonna happen. You're not gonna have a fight of an affliction. You're not gonna have a disagreement. You're not even gonna have anyone talk down upon you or against you, right? Being this Ramo, whatever the freak this dude is, he's mad that Alizar is out of the so-called out of the truth or whatever. So now he decided to disclaim his whole heritage, basically, in a sense. But you can't disclaim that you're not a Hebrew Israelite. Plus, not to mention, you already said it. When you're dealing with the devil, right? Yeah. So this is Revelation chapter 18, verse 15. To the merchants, right? Because these basically, like I brought up earlier, all these different places around the world, these countries and they sell their merchandise. That's how they got rich. That's how China basically got rich, because they put our companies over there, and they gave them all sorts of little deals and this and that, and now they're so-called putting tariffs, but which really is going to affect the American people to have to pay more taxes, right? Which is not going to be beneficial, but they control all the goods, right? And then you're beefing with China, who controls a lot of the things, the merchants of the things which are made rich by America, because America is always constantly a consuming nation, right? They're consumers, not creators. So now you got to buy your stuff from China or whoever else, or Europe to get a good car, China to get good different products or whatever you need to get, right? Even food and things are coming from other places. So that's going to affect who eats, who don't eat. Now they're going to push forth the Karax, right? Grapho, right? The micro C hip, right? Where you could buy or sell, right? Says they were made rich by her. She'll stand afar off from the fear of her torment, right? The ICBM missiles, right? They have laid a wound under her and ate her flesh with fire. They're going to shoot ICBM missiles, but not just them. Russia, North Korea, Iran, right? It's going to shoot missiles upon this place, man. But once they see it, they're going to be looking at the torment and then, oh my God, they're going to start weeping. Oh my God, this, and not because they love this place. It's because they're going to look at how much money they they're going to miss out on, right? Because there's no other place that's such a consuming place, such a consuming nation, and content with being a consuming nation. Go to any place in the world, they will not just be content with just being a consuming nation. Only this place. So you're never going to find that again. And it says, and said, alas, that great city, which is Babylon the Great, America, right? That which was clothed with fine linen and purples and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, right? Which, because it's when you go into Revelation 17, it says that they ruled over the kings of the earth, right? And that's a kingly apparel, right? Purple's a royal color. Scarlet's, I believe, it's a royal color. To have gold and silver and precious stones, things that most people can't afford. Especially when you go around the world stealing it, right? But now people are not having any quarrels about destroying this place. It says, for in 1 hour, so great riches, right? The riches of America is come to naught, and every shipmaster, right, captain or whatever of their ship, right, and all the companies, right, and most all these, America's a company. It's not a country. China's pretty much is a company. It's not a country, right? They have their dictatorships and all this other stuff. All these places are meant to just be companies now, right? Under the small hatters, under the international bankers, right? Because all these people are debtors to the international bankers. That's why the whole world is about to get the Karagma, right? There ain't going to be a place you can go and not get micro C hipped, right? But this proved that the whole world is in darkness, because after shooting missiles on this place, they're like, oh my God, what a great place this place with great riches, right? That proves why shoot missiles on this place? You might as well see if you can work out your differences, or just, hey, I get it. America's been the top person with the what's it called, the world currency. But if you were smart, you would just do it again. Make sure that they have the world currency again. But I get it. At some point in time, it changed over, and the world was fine. Back in the time of Britain had the world currency, and then they changed over from the world currency to be the American dollar, and then the world went on. But you're dealing with what's it called, unprecedented times, right? When you got ICB, there was no ICBM missiles like that at that time, right? Right, and everybody got an ICBM missile. So you're not. The smart thing would be to do is just to, hey, let America have the dollar all over again. Just let them have it. But through the interbeefing of the elites behind the scene, how to run it, they're all in agreement with Micro CIP and everybody, but they're not in agreement of how to run it, which means they're unwise kings, right? No understanding, and all the companies and ships and sailors and as many as traded by sea, right? And that's the thing they're going to tell you. It's going to be this great because that's what they were trying to do during the CV-19, saying that it's this great thing with the supply chain. So now, in order for you to get any supplies through the supply chain, you got to get micro CHIPs, right? Traded by sea stood afar off, right? And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like that great city? Hey, man, that ultimately, that's what it's coming down to. What city is like that great city? Which prove that there's no wisdom, is gross darkness to the whole entire world, right? Yeah, so this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. I got the KJV and the NLT right here, and it says, I'll just read the NLT real quick, and then I'll jump back into the KJV just for the things. It says, wealth is treacherous, right? Which you should have said, the wealthy is treacherous, right? Because that's why it's saying, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, right? His philosophy, his way, his mark, right? The direction that he's going, which is the MOTB, right? The new the Ovos Novos Secorium, right? The Novos Ordo Secorium, right? And it says, and arrogant, the arrogant are never at rest, right? They're always constantly, it says that they can't rest unless they cause someone to fall, right? They cannot rest unless they cause someone to fall, right? It says never, he is a proud man, neither a keeper at home. They have the military everywhere. America has like 200 or 800 bases in the world, right? Military bases in the world, right? His desire is as hell meaning the grave, right? Right? They go around the world digging up your uranium, vibranium, gold, silver, whatever it is, anything that's of value, precious stones and minerals and oil. That's basically what it said. She that has the purple, the scarlet, the oil, the gold, the precious stone, the gold. Hey, man, that's this place, because not only they're basically ruling over the people and forcing people and taking it from other people, right? And he is as deaf, and when they show up to so-called have this humanitarian aid, really people die. There's no actual true peace. There's no humanitarian aid at all. Maybe they might have one or two people, but that's something they prop up and put in front of television. They prop up and put in front of what do they call them? A reporter, which they work for them too. They work for the small hats. Most of the small hats, almost all the media sources. That's why things are not really being said. What's really going on, right? So that way, the person's speaking from a genuine place. They're like, oh my God, these people that came in, they helped me. Oh, and you'd be like, damn, that got to be real, because that person's really speaking from a genuine place. Yeah, that person might be speaking from a genuine place, but overall, most of those citizens are getting hell put on them, right? They're getting extorted, right? Overall, the entire country is being extorted, right? Because they enlarge their desire as hell and is as death when they show up, right? And cannot be satisfied, right? Right. This one says, in their greed, they gather up many nations, so and swallow and swallowed many peoples, right? So basically, they took advantage of all the people, right? Desire is hell and cannot be satisfied, and gather unto himself all nations and heap it to them all people, man. And when they do that, they're really, they're swallowing them up, man. Taking their gold, their silver, your brain, whatever they got, man. Right? You're not in Haiti because you love them. You're not in the Dominica of Congo because you love them. You're not in Nigeria because you love them. Those are dark nations. Why are you even there? Why do you care about their situation between their government and their citizens? Why do you care? You don't. You're all about money. America's about money and corporation, which that's basically what Trump did. Trump right here said the wealthy is treacherous and arrogant. Right? What did Trump do? He pulled in a bunch of billionaires for his administration. Right? So what do you think they're doing? Right? So it says but soon it's NLT. But soon their captors will taunt them. They will mock and say, "What sorrows await you, thieves?" Right? And that's what these billionaires are, man. Billionaires are nothing but thieves, man. Right? They brag about America has the most billionaires of all the billionaires around the world. But then the average American citizen is hurting. So we have the most billionaires in America, but the average American citizen is hurting. So what does that tell you? Not even their so-called back in, was it Reagan, whatever, the trickle-down theory? That's not working, obviously. Right? Shall not all these take up a parable against him? It's in the KJV. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe, which means judgment, to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that layeth himself with thick clay, right? I like this one. This one says, oh yeah, right here. It says, now you will get what you deserved. And that's what's going to happen to this place. America, Babylon the Great is going to get what it deserves. And not to mention all you nations are going to get what you deserve. You became rich by extortion? Right? But how much longer can you go on without the Most High stepping in and judging you? Not much longer. Surely they shall rise up that shall bite thee and awake that vex thee. Right? You're gonna have these race wars, you'll have all these different things, which really is gonna go into prophecy. Because they're ready for, the elite is ready for that. Because you see the movies that they show when they're doing these things, they pretty much know that there's gonna be rioting and uproars of the people, which that's in the scriptures, right? That shall vex thee, thus shall be for booty unto them, right? And it's going to come a time that you're going to be the slave, but they're not thinking about their latter end. And suddenly your debtors will take action; they will turn on you, right? And so will the UN and what's it called? The UN, but not just the UN. This is really the European nations, NATO, Slovakia, NATO. You know, Turkey, right? Because Turkey's supposed to be your ally. They're gonna turn on you. Was it Arabia, right? Saudi Arabia, which was, I believe, was your ally. They're gonna turn on you. They're gonna shoot missiles on you. Iran, Russia, North Korea, China. They're all gonna shoot missiles on this place because there's no understanding in you, right? Nor your citizens. They will turn on you and take you all and take all you have, Salakia, while you stand trembling and helpless, right? And that's what this place is going to be pretty soon. Babylon the Great is going to be helpless, right? And let's go into that that clay, thick clay.
Strong's H 5671. Avteet. Avteet.
Yeah, aptit or abatyat, basically, or how the apostles say it. Abatyat, which means debt, right? Weight pledge, weight of pledge basically goes into pawning. Says a pawn goods, right? Going into like being a pawn, like a pawn shop. And what you really, when you go into a pawn shop, you basically put yourself in more of a debt, because now you have to put it in there, you have to get it out, get your money, maybe take the money that they gave you to go pay a bill, but then you're gonna owe that bill next month too, because next month's gonna come around, and the next month bill is gonna come around, right? And then you still need to get your thing out of the pond. So now you got, basically you're gonna have two bills coming up when you only had one before, right? So now you got to pay your next month's bill that's coming up, plus your pond to get your goods out. So you're just gonna put you basically in debt, right? And then it just says heavy debt, right? And that's this place, man. Babylon the Great, heavy debt. So with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, right? To the elder bishops, in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists in the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners, her phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom, to your sisters, your Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and above all, Kwam Yasharallah.